You're listening to For Change Be Bold podcast, the show that shows you how to start choosing you. Today, I'm excited to introduce our guest, Sarah St. John. Sarah is an entrepreneur, a podcaster, an online course creator, and author. She has created several startups throughout her entrepreneurial career and over a decade. She currently owns a podcast production agency called PodSeam. She is also the podcast host of the Frugalpreneurs, building a business on a bootstrapped budget. I love that. I just love that. Which aims to show people how to launch and manage an online business on a budget. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
I am so excited to get into this one because it's all about budget and starting a business, and so many people are looking towards doing that this day and age.
hmm
So I'm excited about it. So if you could walk into any woman's closet right now, who would it be and what would you pick?
I'm actually going to have to go with Lady Gaga
Oh, okay.
because, well, first of all, she's one of my favorites. And secondly, I mean, can you imagine what that closet would be like? Although I've heard that she has like a warehouse of all her clothes. What would I pick? Like to wear or just to keep?
I mean, to wear, to keep. Yeah.
Mm. Oh man, that red she wore when she sang the national anthem at the Super Bowl. It was like the year before she performed, but she was wearing this red sparkly suit. I love that. I think that's my favorite.
Oh, so that's your favorite. That's the one you'll choose. I think
Yeah.
that's a good one. You know what? I like the the one she had on recently at the inaugural.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It almost looked like Hunger Games.
I know. That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I know there were so many people talking about like, where is she going? What's that? Especially her brooch because it was so big.
Yeah, it was huge, and yeah, it looked just like the. I saw pictures afterwards, like comparing her to in the Hunger Games. What I forget what character. Um, I think Elizabeth Banks plays her. Anyway, and it
Yeah,
was
they were.
like dead on. They were both wearing these big brooches with the bird, and yeah.
This was like the comparison right there. What is one thing you still have from your childhood?
Ooh. One thing I still have from my childhood. Well, I think I have my blanket somewhere. The blanket that I would sleep with and stuff. I don't know where it is, but I know I kept it, so it's
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's somewhere. It's somewhere. I know we all keep, at least one thing or something that we have or we hold dear to our hearts, and we're like, I'm not giving this up. And that's for me is one is the shorts. I have the shorts from my childhood,
Oh,
and
that's
I'm
cute.
not gonna give it up. Like I have it. I'm like, okay, even if I get to pay for it, I'm gonna put it up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get back to that size. What's the last song that is stuck in your head?
Oh man. I think the last song I heard was called Sweet But Psycho by Ava Max. I think that's the last song I heard, so it's been kind of stuck in my head. Um yeah, so I'll go with that one.
You go with that one. Right now, I'm like, ooh, I'm like in between, Baby Shark,
I wasn't expecting that.
because I'm telling you, like these kids, oh my god, that's all they want to sing.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't have any kids, so I'm yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't have any of my own, but my niece,
Oh.
but oh yeah, Twitter or Instagram? Ooh, which one?
Oh, Instagram.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I don't know what Twitter is, but
I know. I can't get into Twitter. I mean, I'll update it when I have an update, but I don't spend time on it.
Exactly. And you know how you can connect your social media accounts. I think
Mhm.
that's what everyone do, and it just automatically go over to Twitter, and it's there. But yeah, we go on there just to see tweets. What is an important life lesson you learned from someone?
Hmm. I guess, well, and I don't know if this is just from one person in particular, but kind of a recurring thing that I keep
Hmm.
hearing throughout life is to just go for it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, to
Hmm.
go for it because you only have one life and well, I mean, I guess it depends on what you believe in, but anyway. um
Exactly.
and there's no better time than the present, or they say, the best time to have planted a tree was 10 years ago and the next best time is now. So it's kind of like that, like just
Yeah,
go for it.
exactly, exactly. And that's a good life lesson, for us to just go at it. Whatever you want to do, attack it because you keep delaying, that dream of yours. I mean, it's not gonna happen, or you're not gonna know what's gonna happen, even if you keep thinking, all right, it's not gonna happen, or it's not gonna go the way I want. But how will you know?
Right. How do you know until you try it?
Exactly. All right, let's jump into. We're here to talk about budget, and I'm excited. So, a lot of people they have this hard time trying to figure out, do I need 500, 600, 700 to start a business? But you're saying, you know what, you can start a business on a bootstrapped budget. So, why was it, that kind of dynamic for you?
hmm Yeah, and I guess I'll kind of explain my backstory a little bit because it kind
Mhm.
of helps put it in perspective. But so in 2008, I had 6 different jobs that year, not at the same time, but throughout the course of the year. And I realized that I wanted to work for myself and be my own boss. And so I started a photography business. And I realized that while I like taking photos of animals and architecture and landscapes, I didn't like taking photos of people,
Yeah,
but that's where the money is. I was doing weddings and portraits.
yeah,
But the bigger issue than that was just the expense of maintaining and keeping up with equipment and lighting and all that.
exactly. Hmm.
So then I decided to switch to an online business model, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I tried a bunch of different things like drop shipping, affiliate marketing, blogging. And it was in that process of trying these different things that I discovered all these free or really affordable tools and resources to use to manage an online business on a budget. So then I decided to write a book called Frugalpreneur, talking about all the different types of like online businesses and how to run them on a budget. And then I got the idea to start a podcast also called Frugalpreneur to coincide with the book, and it was
Yeah.
just going to be like 10 episodes or something, but I was getting more leverage and traction with the podcast than the book, and so I kept that up and
Hmm.
have made some great connections and whatnot. And so I'm all in on podcasting. But yeah, I guess the passion for the podcast and all that started out of just the fact that so many people think that it costs a lot of money to start a business. And of course, if it's like a brick and mortar or retail location, yeah, it's going to cost
Yeah,
some
it's
money.
gonna cost more. Hmm. Yep.
But I mean, you can have all kinds of different online businesses, especially for, next to nothing. I run all my businesses for under 100 a month total. And so that's like that's where I try to keep it. And of course, as you
The
make more money,
baseline.
yeah, that's my baseline. And of course, like as you make more money, you can spend more and things like that. But that's kind of where I try to be. And the only times it maybe goes over a little bit is if I'm running a particular ad or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just think it's important for even if someone has a full-time job, to at least start a side hustle on, online, because you never know when you might lose your job, or maybe you'll like,
Exactly.
yeah, maybe you'll like working for yourself more than, someone else. And so I just think it's a good idea for anyone to have a side hustle at least. And then if it ends up becoming a full-time job, then
There
hey.
it is. Exactly. And I shared on my Instagram page recently that, you can always have that 9 to 5 job and you can still respect that job and you can still do your side hustle. Nothing is wrong with getting 2, 3 incomes because we saw it happen in 2020 when the pandemic hit. And so many people were trying to depend on, you know, the money coming in from different agencies that weren't, you know, providing that for them at the moment. So, having that second income actually is beneficial for you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, even if there's a few different things you want to try, second and third incomes, you can never have probably
Yep.
too many income streams.
Exactly. Especially when you want to go on these trips that, everybody keeps talking about.
Yeah, when we can start traveling normally again.
Exactly. You want to have that money so you can spend. How do you maintain an online business under $100? Because you just touched on that. You said that your company doesn't surpass that or it's under that.
Mhm.
So how do you maintain that?
So, for any online business, of course, it's important that they have a website. A lot of people think that they just need social media and, have a Facebook page. But first of all, we don't know what's going to happen with social media. I mean, MySpace went under, and well, actually it still exists, but like it pretty much,
Yeah,
went away practically overnight. And then with algorithm changes and the fact that when you post on Facebook, only like 1 or 2% of your audience sees it unless you
exactly.
boost it, and you can't really collect email addresses and all that stuff. So definitely having your own website. Um, and you would need a domain for that, which you can get for $1 at oneandone.com. That's where I get my domains. And then,
Oneandone.com.
yeah, yeah, it's the number one and one. And then, um, if you do a WordPress website, well, that's free except for the hosting, which can be as little as $3 a month. Or you could do like Weebly or Wix or Squarespace, and that, might be 10 or 20.
Exactly.
But and then you could create a free logo in Canva or hire someone for $5 in Fiverr. And so yeah, all of the website stuff, I mean, is practically almost free, sort of. And then I definitely recommend starting an email list. And I use SendFox, which is actually free up to, well, when I started, it was up to 3,000 subscribers, and now it's
Ooh,
1,000. But what I like about SendFox is that, like, if you're a blogger or a podcaster or YouTuber or any kind of content creator, you can put in your RSS feed or your YouTube link, and it'll automatically generate weekly newsletters with
ooh,
like your new episode or whatever.
okay.
Yeah, so it saves a lot of time. There's some other ones like MailerLite is the other one I recommend, which I think is up to 1,000 subscribers, is free as well. So you can get started email marketing for free. And then of course, as you get over like 1,000 subscribers, it's going to be a minimal, like $10 a month type of, and then it goes up as you get more subscribers. But of course, as you get more subscribers, you should be making more money. And
Exactly.
so I would say for any kind of online business, those are the things you definitely need. And then depending on what type of online business, you'll need other things. Like since I'm doing podcasting, I need podcast hosting, which I started on Spreaker, and that was like $7 a month. Now I'm on Captivate, which is 19 a month.
Okay.
Um, and like I got a mic, an ATR 2100, which was like $60 or $80 one time fee.
Yeah.
um, so I mean, it depends on what you're doing online, but for the most part, as long as you have a website, an email list, and then yeah, if you need like if you're doing podcasting, then you'll need a podcast host. Or if you're like a coach or a consultant or a blogger or affiliate marketer or any of that stuff, you really don't need, all you need is a website and an email list pretty much.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like super affordable. So most of my budget really at this point goes towards education and ads pretty much.
Yeah, I like that you touched on education because I think many people who are starting out they don't understand how much you have to invest in yourself.
Mm,
It's you starting a business, but you need to know the ins and out of this ever changing business world. And especially with this fast paced internet, and there's everything new that's on the internet, or you can find this and that, and then as you said, like these email marketing platforms, like I have never heard of half of the ones that you just mentioned. So you
mm,
see, like you never know, you have to keep up with what's going on, the trends, and keep learning. So I like that you touched on that too.
Yeah, I try to keep up with like the latest software and stuff like that that is free or really affordable.
Yeah. All right. So $5. So you said, how can you start the business on $5? How can you do that? Um, for someone who might just want to start a business, how can they do that just with $5?
Yeah, so it's kind of I guess I kind of hit on that a little bit earlier as far as like the dollar
The dollar.
domain and then a free logo in Canva, free email marketing to start with. Um, so really, okay, so you have your dollar domain, and then if you go with WordPress, then you'd have hosting, which again is can be as little as $3 a month depending on who you
Yeah.
go with. But yeah, so I mean, you can get started for about $5 and then maintain for under 100. That's kind of my
Exactly.
goal.
Yeah, that's true. How important is planning when it comes on to maintaining this budget?
Oh, planning. Um, I mean, because my expenses are pretty much the same every month, so I don't. I mean, occasionally I might want to run a particular ad or invest in a particular like course or something like that. So I kind of have to think a little bit ahead or budget, or maybe I'll save some on a given month. Like maybe I'll only spend $50 that month. So then I've got 50 to roll into the next month, and then I spend 150 that, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess when I see things like that coming up, I try to cut other expenses. I've recently gone through and cut some expenses to keep it my monthly expenses even lower than usual. I think it's like $40 a month. So then I have the extra 60 basically to do ads or education.
And when it comes on to ads, would you recommend for someone who is just starting out on a budget? Do you recommend them to run ads?
So depending on what kind of business you have, um see, I mainly just do Facebook ads at this point.
Yeah.
Um because unless it's like a local business, like with a brick and mortar, or like when I was doing photography, it was obviously
Mhm.
local in the sense I could only do stuff in like the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
Um, and so I would do Google ads that would target, those areas. But if it's not something local like that, for me personally, I don't even bother with Google ads and just do Facebook because the targeting is so niche. And you can really pinpoint it, but it is getting more and more expensive. So I don't do it too often. I don't know that starting out, I mean, if you're going to, because really what you need to do is focus on growing your email list, but then how are you going to get those people to begin with?
Yeah.
So one way I do it is, I don't know if you're familiar with King Sumo, but it's,
King Sumo. Okay.
yeah, King Sumo. It's free actually. It's from the same people who do SendFox, that email marketing platform, and they run viral giveaways. So like you could do a giveaway to grow your email list because they have to, sign up with their email. And then it lets you like say, okay, share it to Facebook and you get this many more entries, or you can like
Oh,
personalize.
okay.
Yeah, you can have them
Yeah.
go listen to a podcast, go to YouTube, all this stuff. And you can assign different um, point values for it, which gives them an increased chance, I guess, to win. The thing about giveaways, though, is you want to be sure you're not giving away something that everybody and their dog would want. Like you don't want to give away an iPhone because
Exactly.
every,
Exactly.
everyone's going to sign up for that, and then as soon as the giveaway's over, everyone's going to drop off or just whatever.
Yeah.
But so what I do is I do a monthly giveaway with a different book each month, an entrepreneurial type of book. And what I found is that the people that I get who enter that are pretty good like leads or potential clients, because for someone to give up their email address for the chance to
It's really good.
maybe win
Yeah.
a $20 book, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it has to be something that they're
Yeah.
interested in.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what I do. I do a giveaway every month for a new book, and you can run ads to that giveaway. So that's one way. Um, but sometimes what I do is if I'm giving away a particular book or whatever, I try to reach out to the author, or sometimes I'll give away things that aren't books, but they're like, I don't know if you've heard of pod decks, but they're like these decks of cards that are for podcasters that have different questions.
Yes.
And so I had contacted the guy who makes those and said, he was actually a guest on my podcast. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I was wondering if I could give away
Some of
some
those.
of your decks, but then he promoted it to his audience. So then I grew my email list because
Ooh.
he's sending it out to his audience because they're already interested in that. And he's like, hey, so and so is giving away. So then they go to my landing page and sign up. So um and sometimes there will be things called like stacks, where I think info stack is one of them. There's a couple others, but basically where a bunch of different people contribute to a particular theme that month. And so like you would give your book away for free or something like that, usually all digital though. And then all the people that sign up,
They're on your
uh,
email list.
yeah, so those are some ways to grow your email
Okay.
list for free.
Look at that. Building that business in under $5. Literally. Literally just, and it's calibration too, because you talk about like going with that podcaster too, and saying, hey, let me give away some of your cards, and look at that, you grow your email list, he grow his listenership, and both of you are building together. So it's
Hmm.
also about reaching out to other people or in the industry, that know the ins and outs, and working with them.
Hmm. Yeah, I find that collaboration, whether it's through some kind of email collaboration giveaway or being on each other's podcasts or something like that, like just leveraging each other's audiences can really help grow your audience and whatnot, and
That, yeah.
quickly. Yeah.
All right. So, we have to talk some more about Facebook. um, so you mentioned website earlier, which is it Facebook, the social media accounts, as you explained, Instagram. We don't know what's going to happen to them, and so having a website is important. I think a lot of people, they question the fact that, do I have enough information to put on the website? So do you have any advice towards what they can put on there, starting out on that budget right away, to attract anyone coming on?
Yeah, so you'd want to put at least a little bit about yourself, like your bio, or um and if you've won any kind of awards or been featured in anything, obviously, or if you've been on podcasts and things like that, put that on there. Um, and then, like, if you're selling anything, whether it's products or services, obviously have that on the website. have a way for people to contact you, like a contact form. Um, have your social media icons on the website so that people
Yeah.
can find you on social. Let's see. One thing I like to do, and this is especially good for affiliate marketers, for example, is to have a resource page where you list like the different resources that you use and recommend. I have one on mine. It's called like 27 tools I use,
Mm.
and they're all tools I either currently use or have used and recommend. And if you're an affiliate marketer or even really a blogger or a podcaster, and someone were to click on that, some of them don't have affiliate programs, so if someone clicks on it, it just goes straight to
It
that
just goes
site.
straight. Yeah.
But others have are linked to my affiliate account, and of course, you have to have a disclaimer somewhere on your website letting people know, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but let's see what else. Yeah, so any kind of media, like if you're in any videos or podcasts, let's see. I mean, I guess those are the main things. Like, you don't have to have a whole bunch on the website because the more you have on there, the more confusing it can be sometimes.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah.
So you just want to have like maybe 10 to 15, on there that you could provide to your audience at the time.
Mhm.
Share with us some more about your book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have 3 books actually. Frugalpreneur, that's the first one, and that's about the sub headline or tagline on it is how to launch, manage, and market an online business for under 100 a month. And so that just talks about the different types of online businesses and the tools to run them affordably. And then while I was writing that book, I got the idea to write another book called Authorpreneur because I learned so much in the I tend to like when I learn something, I do it and then I teach it, like the whole learn, do, teach.
Yeah.
So that book is about self-publishing. And then I wrote Podcastpreneur, which is about podcasting. So yeah, and I actually give them all away for free. The PDF version, if anyone's interested, that's at thesarahstjohn.com/free. That's Sarah with an H and then STJOHN. Yeah, so all 3 of them are actually free, the PDF version.
Oh, look at that. So go over to Sarah S. Johnson, or Johns, I should say. Not Johnson.
The Sarah St. John,
St. John.
but
Yeah.
yeah, just St. John.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So get on over there and grab a copy of it. It's completely free. And if they want to purchase, you said it's the PDF, but if they want to purchase like the hard copy, do you have hard copies of it too?
Yeah. If you go to the website and you click on, like, it's not featured on the front page, but if you click on any of the other links in the top, then there will be a sidebar that shows up and the links are there. Or you can just go to amazon.com,
And grab
and
it.
they should pop up under my name or the names of the books.
Awesome, awesome. So, you're also you have a company which is the PodSeam,
Hmm.
and that is a podcast production company. So, can you like share with us some more about that company? What do you offer to podcasters, and what can we expect from the company?
Yeah. So when I started my podcast, I was editing and producing and I still am. I edit and produce my own show, but a lot of people were complimenting me on it. And so and I enjoyed doing it. So I was like, well, why not get paid to do it for other people? So then I launched PodSeam. That's PodSeam.com. And basically, when you just record your episode and then you send me the file, and then I basically clean it up, remove like the ums and uhs and any kind of loud noises, make sure the levels and the sound, all of that is right, and then create show notes and audiograms and social media graphics and just
Nice.
all of that stuff. Because I think a lot of people, for the most part, it isn't so much the recording of the podcast that people have a problem with. It's all the post production.
Yes.
And so, yeah. And I think that's how people pod fade, which I don't know if you've heard that phrase, but like where you start a
Die
podcast.
away.
Yeah. And then it just, after 7 or 10 episodes is the typical,
Yeah.
people just stop doing it because the time involved in all the post production is just
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming. So, yeah. So basically, I handle all the post production because
Oh, nice.
I do it for my own show. So, why not?
Listen, I completely understand what it means to do everything because I do everything too, and it is whew, a work.
Hmm.
It is a work. So for podcasters, they just need to go on there and just submit their file. There's nothing. What if a podcaster needs or they ask you to put different, like breaking points throughout the episodes? Do you also offer that also?
Yeah, everything, like including I can put in their intro, outro, any kind of ads they might have, any yeah, breaks like you said. They just let me know pretty much exactly what they
What they
need
need.
and then yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. So get on over to podseam.com. So that's podseam.com. And if you need help with podcasting, listen, we have Sarah here who is willing and ready to help you. So, Sarah, can you provide some social media accounts with us? Your Facebook, your Instagram, Twitter, if you have one.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much all of my social media platforms are at the Sarah St. John. I think LinkedIn is the only one where it's like Sarah dash or underscore St. John, but everything else is the Sarah St. John. And I don't, have you heard of Clubhouse?
Yes,
Are you on there?
I am.
Oh, I'll have to find you.
Okay.
Because I just got on there today.
Oh, nice. Welcome to the club.
I've been waiting forever. The guy that I was just mentioning earlier who has the pod decks, he actually sent me an invite code. I'd been waiting for weeks. Anyway, so I'm finally on there, and that one is actually at Sarah St. John.
Okay.
I'm at the Sarah St. John everywhere else because Sarah St. John was taken. Same thing with the website. But at least with Clubhouse is so new that
Yeah.
I was able to get Sarah St. John.
Good. I don't think I have my full name on there. I guess it was too long.
Oh, uh-huh.
But yes, I'll definitely follow you on Clubhouse. And I do have some invites, guys. So if you need any and you're listening, just let me know. I have about 3 invites, so I can only invite
Oh,
3.
oh, wow.
Yes. So if you're listening and want to get on Clubhouse, I'll hook you up. So definitely follow Sarah at the Sarah St. John on social media. On Clubhouse, it's Sarah St. John. On LinkedIn, it's Sarah underscore or slash,
Yeah,
right?
I can't remember
Sarah
one or the other.
St. John. Oh my God, it was such a good interview. Like I love talking to you, and it was great. Learning about budgeting, and everything that you said, I never really like thought about it until you started explaining. Like, oh, so like $1.99 for this, $3. You never really think about it until someone else like mention it or point it out to you, and you're like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was great. Is there any last minute tip or anything that you want to share before we go?
I guess a couple of tips I like to give people is that I think entrepreneurs in general, and I know I've experienced this, is the shiny object syndrome, where you're just constantly thinking of new ideas and but at a certain point you gotta pick something and go with it
Yeah,
and try not to get distracted by all these other things. And then
exactly.
the other thing would be it's good to learn and get educated, especially in the beginning, but throughout your entrepreneurial journey through podcasts and webinars and courses and books and all that. but at a certain point, if you're not implementing what you're learning, then it's pointless. So I basically, for every hour I spend implementing, I try to spend, I mean, for every hour I spend learning, I try to spend another hour implementing. And so that's what I would recommend as well. And then, yeah, and then those 3 books at thesarahstjohn.com/free.
There you go. And as you touched on that, they say preach what you learn, or learn,
Hmm.
whatever you learn, you preach. So as you learn, you implement and you become better at it. So
Hmm.
step by step. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being a part of For Change People podcast today. And definitely go check out her podcast, The Frugalpreneur. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So definitely go check her out. And you can find her on, I believe, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, right? So pretty
Hmm.
much anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can definitely listen to Sarah on her show. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me.